What is up, guys? We're coming at you with another video, and this is one a little bit different than the videos that I've been doing. With the new year coming in, I thought what better thing than to talk about new cars coming out, the new performance cars specifically. Things are going a little bit more electric, so we're kind of losing out on models. Things that have gone away, kind of like the Focus, the Viper, Camaro, several others. We're going to be continuing going electric. So might as well talk about the new performance cars for 2022, kind of this last wave of gas-powered performance cars. With that in mind, we're going to be looking kind of at the value out there and within performance cars. So this will be a value-minded perspective on new performance cars. So I know a couple cars that are out there, but I'm really not on top of my game and knowing the new vehicles out there. So we're just simply going to take a look at new performance cars. We'll just do new performance cars because there's a couple that I want to include that aren't necessarily 2022's. Okay, let's see here. This one's interesting. The Toyota GR Yaris or Yaris. Yeah, I think that's gonna be a pretty cool one. I've heard a little bit about that one, so we're gonna look into that one. Let's just do that right now. Toyota GR Yaris. Okay, so we've got the 2021 Toyota Hot Hatch. I'm a big fan of Toyota. I like what they put out. There's another car we'll be talking about here in just a second that is also from this manufacturer, but I really don't know a lot about this car, but just kind of scrolling down, I guess that's all they're going to give to us. But maybe they'll give us some powertrain information. Nope, these are all just images. Well, I guess we can read this. This is a 3-cylinder. Wow, this is kind of first I guess common 3-cylinder engine in America, particularly 21st century. 268 horsepower, 3-cylinder turbocharged engine, and it's all-wheel drive. Very interesting. All right. Okay. How much does this thing cost? $36 to $41. So if we think there's a couple cars you can kind of get in that range. The one that's coming to mind right now is just simply WRX STI. I know most STIs are kind of around 45 now, but you can get a new STI for around this price. Styling does look pretty good. It's a 2-door hatch, which is awesome. Is this coming to America or no? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, on the back page we just saw that it's coming to America, so yeah. Okay, so we've got a 2-door hot hatch, 3-cylinder turbo, all-wheel drive coming to America. Little on the pricey side though, so maybe not the best value. So let's go back. See what else we have. I'm not too interested in any Volvos. I mean, GTI's been around for a while. Ferrari. Another thing that I want to think about when we're talking about new performance cars, the first one that comes to mind, well, let's just get it out of the way. C8 Corvette. The most typical value-minded, best bang for your buck performance you can usually get is going to be a Corvette. Now C6 prices, we're starting to see them in the drifting environment, and I think this can be just a price thing, you know, any car that's got somewhat of a performance aspect to it, if the prices start to come down, they're going to find their way into drifting. But the capabilities and, you know, rear wheel drive and the stability, performance, the upgradability of the chassis of like a C6, and you can get them under 20k now. Even, I don't know, some people probably found them for under 10k. It's just, Corvettes are just, you know, they're capable. They're kind of a tried and true formula, rear wheel drive, V8 engine. They're not super heavy, and there's a ton of aftermarket support. So super value minded, really just your best bang for buck typically. You know, the Nissan GTR is kind of, you know, it's around that 40. If you can find some for 40, I mean, I know prices are pretty inflated right now, but between 40 and then upwards, you know, for, I'm talking like 2008, 2010s. And you get a lot of performance out of that car, obviously, but you're not going to take that car drifting. But that's just another one that came to mind. Yeah, Corvettes, and specifically I mean, here's the newest Corvette, the C8 Corvette. I think the best bang for their buck of a car that is new coming out is this guy right here, the Z06. This is a pretty incredible car. You've got a mid-engine vehicle with a 700 plus horsepower naturally aspirated V8. It revs just to the moon. I think it's an awesome concept. I think it looks great, and it's really going to kick a lot of butts. This car is probably, I mean, you're getting supercar capability out of what is the MSRP, like $90,000. Like, that's pretty incredible. So this, I feel like today is the most value-minded performance car that you can get. Revving to 8,400 RPM, like that's awesome. I said it was over 700, 670, pretty close, but I mean, you're going to be able to easily get that above 700. That being said, and that in mind, this is not, even though I've spent a good deal talking about Corvettes, this is not really on my list right now. For this particular video, I want to do cars that are going to be more available to the wide public. So not everyone's going to be able to go out and buy a $90,000 C8 Z06. So while this is probably the best value-minded car right now, performance-wise, this is not going to be on our list just because it's, you know, north of $80,000. So we're going to kind of stick to the, you know, $30,000 to $40,000 range. Another car that comes to mind is one of my personal favorites, new BRZ. So the BRZ for this model gets a little bit of a performance upgrade, not much, but you look at what you can do with this car. It's starting at $27,000. I don't know, do they still have the premium versus the shoot, I'm forgetting the other trim of BRZs. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, so the limited. So there still is premium limited. Does the premium, so the big thing about the limited in the last generation is the limited got you a limited slip rear differential, and so that's, I mean, that's really what you're going to want, obviously. And a lot of people start drifting these, and they're pretty good platform and chassis to do so, but I'm not sure what the deal is with this generation. If that's the case, I would pay the $2,500 and get the limited. But this is just a great car. I mean, it's light, small, and it's just got a ton of aftermarket support. So, I mean, you're going to be easily able to upgrade brakes, cooling, wheels. You're going to be able to get some aero on this thing, looking pretty good. There's just numerous exhaust setups that you can run. I mean, my personal favorite, throw on the unequal length header, and Tome is sounding pretty good on those things. That Boxer sounds really good, particularly the FA, what is it, FA 20. But yeah, I mean, it's a simple concept, short wheelbase, small, light car, super agile, turning is pretty quick. Yeah, these are just great cars. I mean, they're pretty much today's 240. So I just want to see what you got with the limited. In the engine and chassis department, they both get limited slips. Wow, that's big time, guys. That is big time. They both get a limited slip differential. That's crazy. The premium and last generation did not. So I mean, for 27, that's not too bad, guys. Not too bad. All right, so let's take a look. 2022 new performance cars. What's next? Let's look at 2022 WRX STI. So here is one of the more controversial new cars coming out this year. So we've got pretty much a standard, you've got a Boxer engine, you've got H-track all-wheel drive. These are variable and you can adjust the percentage of where the power goes. We've got that in previous generations, but I think the styling is the biggest aspect that's controversial with this car. I mean, a lot of people are calling it an Acura, they're calling it a Honda, and I mean, you can see why just looking at the taillights and the styling there. I mean, is this an Outback? Is this a normal Impreza? It's pretty tall off the ground. But you need to remember, this is a Rally Heritage car, so I mean, it's kind of typical, and most people are just going to throw a set of coilovers right off the bat and slam to the ground anyways. A lot of people are upset with the plastic around the vehicle, and while I am also on board with the people that say those things, I think they're playing into aftermarket. This is one of the most tuned cars, in recent history, and having a snap-on wide body kit is going to be pretty cool. So that's definitely, and there's been rumors, there's been news, and I think we've already been able to catch images of the snap-on body panels. So that's a pretty cool thing. I think it gets a bump in horsepower, but other than that, I mean, this is just a formula that they've been running for the last 20 years. So as we're looking at the 2022 WRX, it looks a lot bigger, but they're saying it doesn't add any weight. I actually thought it was less weight than previous generation, but yeah, the car just looks a lot bigger. Just scrolling through here, you can see some of the styling. I know the biggest thing with this generation of the new WRX is going to the 2.4 Boxer engine, but it still keeps basically the same power. And I know that does a little bit with the power band and where the power comes on and the torque and stuff like that. But yeah, pretty much the same horsepower. Second about it here. So Subaru claims it's only 20 pounds heavier. Interesting. But yeah, this is talking about where the power is. So a redesigned wastegate, minimize turbo lag, improve low RPM response. You're also going to get that with the bigger displacement. Yeah, I was wondering about that because it goes to the 2.4. So it looks like fuel economy drops a little bit. Man, these cars always get pretty bad gas mileage, even though this is, so I had a 2002 WRX. That thing did not get great gas mileage. I think this is a lot better than what I was able to get. Most new performance cars comes with electronically controlled dampers, which is awesome. I've never had a car with electronically controlled dampening or Magna Ride or what you want to call it, but I think that is one of the greatest kind of advancements in the automotive industry, and I think it's a great thing. It kind of when I became most aware of it was with the GT350 when it came out. But while we are here, the next car I'd like to talk about happens to be right here, 2022 Civic Si. And so I feel like, man, every single year we're getting a new generation, new styling of the Civic. I was a big fan of the last Civic. Awesome car. I think that car was the best bang for your buck in the previous new cars in kind of the previous era, maybe the last 3 or so years. You were able to get a car for barely north of $20,000, and it's turbocharged. It's got all the amenities you would want, and you got electronically controlled dampening. So that was an awesome car. I mean, you're going to see some of the similar things here. You basically got, and remember last generation, I don't know what is, so 11, so the 10th generation, this is the first time we got a turbo Civic here in the US. So that was a big deal. You also got the Type R, awesome car, great styling, seats, probably the most comfortable seats I've ever sat in. Really a big fan of the Type R. But we've got just new look. It's just a new look Civic. It probably borrows a lot from the previous generation, but to me, the styling, man, especially on the sedan, is really just a killer for me. It looks like almost like an updated 1999 Accord. Like this, that's what I'm looking at right now. And you know, it does have some downsides, but really I just was a huge fan of the previous generation, previous styling, previous performance. All the while, this is probably as good, if not a little bit better. I mean, you've got good numbers here. 0.94 on the skid pad, like that's pretty incredible, especially for a sedan. I wish we could have looked at the coupe. Maybe we'll take a quick look at the 2022 Civic Si coupe. So this is news to me. Well, I think I've heard something about this, and I just forgot it. And well, now as I'm doing a little bit of research, the coupe is gone. The Civic Si coupe is gone, and you know that really hurts me. I'm a big fan of Civics in general. Si coupes are, man, they're kind of the top of some of my favorite cars. So the fact that they got rid of the coupe really just puts a damper on my views of the new Civic Si. So this is not going to be my top pick for new performance cars coming out this year and is new. So this isn't necessarily going to be a 2022 pure list. This is more so, you know, cars that are new that you can go out and buy today. So this can include some 2021's, 2020's, and the one I'm thinking of right now is the 2022 Supra. This is probably one of the more hyped, more excited cars that have come out recently. Most people, it's a little controversial, you know, is it a BMW, is it Toyota, blah, blah, blah. There's no manual. Styling looks a little weird. I personally am a big fan of the 2020 Supra. I think especially when you look at the car in person, great looking car. The performance potential is, I mean, like 94 Supra is, through the roof. You can, simple bolt-on new turbo, or even just tuning, and you're up hundreds of horsepower. It's incredible what people have been able to do with these. The A90 Supra is, it instantly YouTubers were trying to set records at the drag strip, and I think it's just an awesome car. Great styling, great handling. It's just an all-around great car. I think it's got so much potential, and it's a Supra. I mean, just the fact that they kept the Supra badge with the original font right there that was a big deal for me. Man, this one's looking good besides those taillights. But yeah, I think this is a great car. I really like the Supras. I think you're going to get great value, even though it's priced at, what are they priced at? 54 for the 6-cylinder. Now, we did get the 4-cylinder, correct? So yeah, let's take a look at 2.0. The 2.0 is not a bad car. We also think about this in our list with our value-minded perspective. So this is not an American, so those numbers are not going to work for me. Let's just look up the Supra 4-cylinder. So this one came out last year, so 2021, and you basically have the same styling. You have a lot of the same performance. You're probably gonna have a little bit less brakes, obviously less horsepower. So the official numbers: 230 horsepower, 246 pound-feet of torque, and again, this is going to have a lot of aftermarket support and a lot of ease of bumping that horsepower number up. But I think it's awesome that they included a 4-cylinder option for those of us that can't just go out and buy a $54,000 car right now, or want to. I would like to come up with the price for you guys though, so let's see. Okay, so the 4-cylinder Supra is coming in at $43,000. I almost would be willing to pay that extra $9 or so grand for the 3.0 6-cylinder. Of course, this is looking at new cars specifically. I'm sure you could go out, maybe not right now exactly because of the way prices are, but I'm sure you can find Supras for around this price, especially definitely under 50, and talking about the 3.0 right now. So yeah, in that case, if you were going like used, it'd be no brainer. Get the 3.0. Just buy a used 3.0 over the 4-cylinder. But yeah, if you're going new to new, I almost would rather just pay that $9 grand to get the 6-cylinder. That leaves us with the final car I wanted to talk about. This one has also got a lot of hype recently. That is the 2022 Nissan 400Z. You guys know me, I had a 350 HR, and best car I've ever driven, and I've driven a lot of cars, and that was just in 2008, 70,000 miles. Really was pretty much stock, had exhaust intake, but other than that, it had a decent set of tires on it, pretty sticky, and I was able to beat the crap out of that thing, and that thing just took it and wanted to keep going. The Z's are amazing platforms, amazing cars. I think Nissan just does a great job at building compact cars with great sturdy chassis and you can get a lot of performance out of them. They build good axles, good transmissions. The HR engine, I know the early, like the D's had some oil consumption issues, but by the time you got around the HR, that engine, revving to 7,500 RPM and is doing it consistently and confidently. And so, Nissan, they do a good job at building performance cars. They really just do. They've been doing it for so many years. Everything that comes out of Nismo factory, I'm a big fan of. They're pumping out good things, and it'll be kind of sad when they eventually have to go to electric. But yeah, we've liked the Z's, and we finally got a new Z. The 370 kind of was around for a while and is basically the same exact thing as the 350. Got a little bit of bump in power, a little bit of bump in displacement, nicer materials inside, but it is not much different than the 350. Here, the 400, a lot of changes. So of the obvious changes is the new twin turbo V6. The fact that you can basically get a GTR engine in a car that costs $40,000 is a pretty big deal. I don't want to get into price yet, but let's just go through and look at some of the performance aspects. This twin turbo 3-liter V6 engine. So the Supra, A90 Supra, that's a 3-liter V6, but a single turbo. Have we got an exact output number yet? I thought I heard it was gonna be 450 or maybe just 400 even. But yeah, so it's 400 horsepower. That's a pretty good number. You're gonna be able to have a lot of fun in that. And now we might as well talk about the price. Around $40,000. That's just, man, that's bang for your buck right there. You've got more power than a Supra that costs $14,000 more dollars. You've got twin turbos. You've got just great performance, great handling. You're going to be able to do a lot of different things. You could drift this. You could road course it. You could, if you wanted to, go ahead and drag race it. A lot of people just really didn't grab hold to the look early on when we first received these images. Most people just didn't like it. Just said it was ugly, didn't like the headlights, didn't like the stance. But as it typically goes, styling grows on people, and you slam it to the ground with a set of coilovers, nice wheels, maybe throw a little lip, little spoiler on there, and the car gets looking good. I think people will come around to them. With the styling of the 2022 BRZ, I was really against it first thing when it came out. I was like, man, I love the old BRZ. The look is just classic on the old ones. The new ones look terrible. And then Evan Shank slammed it and put wheels on it, and it looks awesome. And TJ Hunt's doing the same exact thing. And I think once people get a hold of these, we'll be thinking the same exact things. So the Nissan Z, while it's not coming out, I think it's coming out fall of this year. Technically a 2023 model. I think given the performance, you're getting a $40,000 car with twin turbo V6 pumping 400 horsepower. You're gonna have a great manual transmission, great handling, Magna Ride suspension. The list goes on and on. Braking is awesome with Nissans. You're going to have a heck of a package with the 400, and you're getting it for $40,000. And again, that's a hand-me-down GTR motor, basically. You're basically getting a rear-wheel drive GTR for $40,000, brand new off the lot. And you're obviously, tuners are going to get a hold of this, and horsepower numbers are going to skyrocket. So that being said, this is kind of my list of 2022 performance cars that are coming out. I think the GR, not the 86, but the GR Yaris looks pretty cool. Little too pricey. The Civic Si, good bang for your buck. You're around $20,000, but the styling and the fact that there's no coupe anymore, that really hurts it. You've got the new STI coming out, the new WRX. Again, styling is a bit controversial. I think there are good aspects. but you might as well go and buy maybe a 2014 and save yourself some money. The C8Z06, you've got a flat plane crank V8 revving to 8,400 RPMs, incredible, supercar performance, but it's going to be north of $80,000, so not everyone can go out and buy that. So that's why I think that the Nissan 400Z is the best bang for your buck right now, if you're to go out and buy a new performance car. So that's all I've got for you today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. It's a little bit different than what I've been doing, but I thought I'd just kind of share my thoughts on the new state of cars and kind of this last generation of the gas-powered car performance cars that are coming out. Thanks so much for watching. Please check out my other videos. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and peace out.